My name's Kamal Jackson. I'm actually a resident of Springs in East Hampton. I've lived out here for the past 15 years, but I've been a resident of East Hampton pretty much my whole life. We're at the Springs Fire Department right now. I'm actually a member, a firefighter, and an ambulance driver as well. A lot went through my mind. It was actually, pretty much a scary time where we didn't know if we were going to be open or not, but actually ended up being we were busier than we've ever been because everyone migrated back out here during the wintertime. Normally, it's just like maybe one or two calls a week, normally on the weekend when people would come out here, but then when it actually hit, it just seemed like it was every day. And we got to a point where, like we had to keep asking East Hampton for help or Amagansett for help. I mean, everyone, all the departments around here got the worst of it because there's just so many more people out here. It's just like summertime all over again. We had a code, so if it came over as FC, which was fever cough, then we would know that we had to take certain precautions when it came down to it for the call. So most of the calls that came over were fever cough, but we actually tried to keep most of the people home because there was just so many people going to the hospital and they didn't have enough room for everyone. When it came over as fever cough, we usually have a squad at nighttime. So when the squad runs, we actually had 5 people, but we'd have a paid paramedic and just a driver. So when it was our squad, only the one driver got in the ambulance. The front was sealed off from the back. So only the paramedic was able to deal with the patient, get them into the stretcher, and we would go to the hospital while the rest of the crew was just around just in case they needed extra assistance for lifting or whatever, but they would have to don a hazmat suit pretty much and, go inside the house. There were a lot of older ones that used to drive, because they were more accessible to getting sick. So they decided to, take a back seat to this. So it was more on the younger drivers. There's probably 10 or so younger drivers, let's say, that are around after work to take calls. There's someone that's here full time during the day to take a call, but at nighttime it was more on us. I'm not sure if one stood out because they all were kind of unique in a way. I can't even like really recall all the calls that we took over that course of time, but I just remember people being sick, people being scared. There was a lot of tears shed because they didn't really want to go to the hospital because they thought that they may not come back from it. I think we did a great job as a community. Springs is a great community to begin with, so even with everyone else coming back out here, I know that there was shortages of paper towels and toilet paper and things like that, but I think we all pretty much just abided by the rules, did what we had to do, distance ourselves, stay home, and that was pretty much that. Honestly, they own the land. I'm not upset about them coming back out here. This is their house. They were out here during the summertime, so it's not much different. But for the schools and for everything else, like we just weren't ready for it. We weren't used to it. The delis weren't stocked. The supermarkets weren't stocked for a full influx of summer residents. We had really good communication with our top paramedic, and he pretty much kept us in the loop. We had Zoom meetings every Monday about certain protocols to go over and things like that, and any updates we had to be aware of. I don't think anything's really changed for us. Like we had a mask mandate. We could only be in here unless it was like a meeting or if there was a call or something like that. So there was no like real hanging around like we normally do. So a lot of our drills got changed because of the pandemic. So we couldn't actually really function unless there was really a call. So there was no time to learn or to teach anyone or anything like that over that 8-month span, let's just say. It's never going to be normal again. We're never going to get back to this point where we're just, free to roam around and have these parties and things like that. That's what this town is pretty much known for during the summertime, is being able to be, free and going to the beach and things like that. And now everyone, even at the beach now, a year later, they're still distancing. There's still bars that are closing early because of this. There's so many things that I think that will never just go back to normal. I definitely think it's extremely difficult to get new members. Maybe because they are scared of what they may see. I've seen a lot. They may not want to get COVID or something like that. But I mean, like I said, we take the precautions so we don't have to really worry about ourselves. It's funny because I actually take care of swimming pools, maintenance, repairs, whatever. And when that happened, we stayed open. When everyone came out, I guess if their pool was open already, they were able to service it. So we never got shut down. So this whole time I was out in the midst of this. in the delis, or just meeting people face to face or whatever. Even with the mask on, a lot of people didn't want me near their older parents or something like that. But it's it's been it was very challenging for that time with work, and then getting off work and coming to this. I actually had a friend that passed in February from lingering effects of COVID, and that was extremely difficult, mentally, having to deal with that. But like I said, it's a reason why I choose to live a better life, health-wise and exercise, and just keep my mind intact. Because honestly, like, I feel like with everything that I've seen, I could easily just fall off the deep end. But something just keeps me on the right path, and maybe it's just from helping people. I'm not sure, but I enjoy it, and I wouldn't trade it for a thing. Ooh, that's a tough one. I would say the one word would be life, because honestly, the amount of people that have passed from this, it makes me want to live my life better. And if there's something else I could do to help someone else, I will do that.